AFC executive member and prime ministerial candidate Mr. Khemraj Ramjattan is firm in his belief that the chief elections officer acted within his purview when he pronounced on the numerous anomalies of the recount process in his report handed over to the Commission on Saturday. In an interview on social media on Sunday, he made it clear that Article 177 of the Constitution of Guyana gives the elections officer such authority.
I believe that so declared by the chairman of the Elections Commission, acting on the advice of the chief elections officer, means exactly what it says. The chief elections officer is supposed to give advice to the chief elections, to the GCOM chair.
Yeah. Following the release of the report, Leader of the opposition, Mr. Jagdeo, had alleged that Lowenfield does not have the authority to pronounce on the alleged discrepancies raised by political parties in the national recount exercise.
But he had no role, no investigative authority, nor was he required to do this.
However, Article 177 of the Constitution of Guyana states that presidential candidates shall be deemed to be elected as president and shall be so declared by the chairman of the Elections Commission, acting only in accordance with the advice of the chief election officer after such advice has been tendered to the Elections Commission at a duly summoned meeting. The prime ministerial candidate also made reference to Articles 62 and 162 of the Constitution.
And even though it happened prior to an elections petition, it means then that when you see all of these things, GCOM, the powers that it got in 62 and 162, got the power to call it.
Article 162(1)(b) states, "The Elections Commission shall issue such instructions and take such action as appear to it necessary or expedient to ensure impartiality, fairness, and compliance with the provisions of this Constitution or of any Act of Parliament on the part of persons exercising powers or performing duties connected with or relating to the matters aforesaid." Mr. Ramjattan, like many other political activists, scientists, and commentators, also upheld the call for the elections to be nullified and for fresh elections to be held. The Chief Elections Officer report concluded that the summation of anomalies and instances of voter impersonation identified in all electoral districts clearly does not appear to satisfy the criteria of impartiality, fairness, and compliance with provisions of the Constitution and the Representation of the People's Act, Chapter 103. The elections officer further stated in his report that, consequently, on the basis of the votes counted and the information furnished from the recount, it cannot be ascertained that the results for all electoral districts meet the standard of fair and credible elections. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Wendell Badrie.